Anthropic just went looking inside an AI model for how it thinks. And what popped out is actually genuinely impressive. So the paper is from Anthropic's interpretability team, and it was published just this month. So they built a tool that reads out what words a model is on the verge of saying at every stage of its internal processing. And buried in the middle of the model, they found something that they're calling the J space. So it's a small, privileged set of thoughts the model can report and hold in mind on command and then reason with. Around it, there's a vast ocean of processing it can't talk about at all. So that reportable layer carries less than 10% of what is going on inside the model, and the 90% of the work is still being done just silently. So ask a model, for example, how many legs are on an animal that spins webs, and the word spider will light up in that space, unspoken, before the answer of 8 even comes out. So if that architecture sounds familiar, it should. In the 1980s, the cognitive scientist Baars proposed that the human consciousness actually works exactly in this way. So what they call a global workspace. It's a narrow, brightly lit stage where a few thoughts are available for report and reasoning, while the overwhelming bulk of your brain's activity, for example, your vision, your posture, your grammar, it's all just like running in the dark. Nobody purposefully designed the model to have this. It appears to be emergent. So when you train a system to do flexible reasoning with language, that the J space is where it surfaces concepts that are highly abstract, representing neither raw input nor the predicted output, but rather these intermediate assessments that the model has formed and made available to its downstream circuitry. Which raises the possibility that this is actually not a quirk. It actually may be what linguistic intelligence costs, whoever's running it, be it biological or digital. And I've really taken a few days to process this report because I wanted to swim in the concepts. We keep demanding that AI explain itself, show its reasoning, justify the answers. But that can sound rigorous until you ask the same question of a person. For example, in 1977, the psychologists Richard Nisbett and Timothy Wilson showed that humans confidently explain their decisions with reasons that measurably were not the cause of those decisions. We do not report our processing, we narrate over it, and essentially we're believing the narration. So when a human expert gives you an answer, you do not ask them to prove every single step of their experience along the way. You accept the 10% because the 90% was never actually available to anyone, even including them. And we thought interpretability research would tell us how machines think. And instead, it is written down for the first time, I think, what we actually accept as an explanation. And I think a really uncomfortable part of this discovery is that we've been grading the machines against a standard that no human mind has ever met either. We went looking for the limits of their transparency, and I think we found the limitations of our own.